Hey, it's Eric from Pyramyd AIR. We're down here on a really special trip with HuntChef in southwestern Pennsylvania. We brought some air guns from Pyramyd AIR to show these guys what they can do in the squirrel woods. And with any luck, we're gonna come back here and they're gonna show us how to make those squirrels amazing in the kitchen.
I've been squirrel hunting my whole life, grew up eating and hunting these guys, but I have never done it with an awesome air gun. So we can't wait to get this Avenger in the woods, see what it can do, get back here and eat what we kill.
Morning guys, we're here in southwestern Pennsylvania. We're on a squirrel hunt with HuntChef. We've got some new air guns out that we're excited to try in the field. We got this awesome custom sear coated Avengex out and a few other guns. What are you shooting today?
I'm shooting an Airarms S510 22.
Okay. Got the sticks ready and got a spare air tank in the backpack, and we're gonna put some hours in looking for some squirrels today and then bring you guys some really cool recipes with HuntChef.
Bushy tails, that's what's for dinner. Pyramyd AIR style, eating what we kill.
Jesus.
I've known that boy for several years. I've never seen him move that fast.
Shot, man. Let me tell you.
There you go.
Hey Pyramyd AIR, we're here today to do a little bit of product spotlight and help you guys understand a really straightforward and delicious squirrel recipe. Eric and I were out this morning, too, congratulations. And we just made this recipe in a little bit different format last night, and you seemed to enjoy it.
It was amazing. One of my favorites.
I'll take amazing. Anyhow, you ready to get started?
Let's do it.
So we're gonna take 3 seasonings from the HuntChef line: Party Foul, Smoky Bayou, and 10 ring, and just give the flour, we got some all-purpose flour here, and go ahead and just give them a good dump. A little bit more. There you go. Some Party Foul in, and Party Foul has that sort of chicken bouillon cube flavor, is probably the best way to relate it. Smoky Bayou, sweet, smoky, southern, and then 10 ring grill rub is a little bit more. Now we're talking, is that kind of all-purpose, really savory and delicious grill rub. Grab that pan of squirrel up there. Look, show the camera. Look at those nice little cuts. You did a really good job cleaning those.
Thank you.
All right, flour's ready. Dump them in there. So this is going to be sort of mix them up. Yep, just like you did last night. Kind of a garlic butter hot sauce. Most everybody has Frank's or something like that. Some are hot, so if you like more heat, do more. If you don't want as much heat, do more butter. You love garlic, add more. You don't like as much garlic, take the garlic out. It's really up to you guys. Just giving you some base level, but the HuntChef seasonings in the flour are really gonna, you know, a lot of folks And for the longest time, I never cooked squirrel without brining it in salt water overnight. But these are fresh killed this morning, just a couple hours ago.
Right.
And based on what you had yesterday, do you feel like you need to brine squirrel?
No, never. I would never feel the need to.
Yeah, I mean, brining never hurts. I mean, it's always going to make things juicier. Get a little bit of salt penetration in there.
Sure.
Add some flavor from the inside. But I mean, just simple, delicious, very clean, very mild.
If you have time, you're not going to eat it that night, brine it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't have to. If you want to just make a meal right after hunting, then it was perfect.
So I'm going to pull out a little bit of my treasure trove here. So this is rendered venison fat that we're going to brown all the squirrel parts in first. And we've got the pan preheating. So, you know, it's just like if you would render pork fat into lard or beef fat into tallow, anything along those lines. But at room temperature, it's still really pretty solid.
Yeah.
But once it melts, super clean,
Right. Yeah,
very tasty,
yeah,
right?
That's great. It added a nice flavor. What would you use in place of that if you didn't have?
Well, I mean, you could use butter, pretty much any oil that you would like, lard, as I mentioned, beef tallow, really any fat cooking medium, because the squirrel is so lean,
Right.
and you've got to get that crunch, that start to the crisp. Now we're going to put these back in the flour again before we deep fry them.
Good, neat trick, yeah.
But we want to get, as soon as this fat melts here, we're going to be ready to rock and roll. We're going to lose this dish. So for the air gun community, probably a lot of small game cooking, because I mean, you're responsible for your, you know, nature and everything you do. So you're out there, you shoot these animals, bring them home. You want to make them as tasty as you can, right?
Absolutely.
Do you guys get a lot of requests, or are people looking for new recipes and ways to prepare small game?
We do. That's one of the reasons I really want to come down here and hang out with you guys and show you the air guns, is because I want to be able to take your knowledge and bring that back to our customers and show them some different ways they probably have never seen to make this great.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, I've been hunting squirrels my entire life and cooking them. I mean, I probably ate more squirrel protein from age 2 to 16 than I did just about anything else. I think we're probably about ready.
Okay.
So why don't you go ahead and start loading the pan.
I'm going to get all this flour off.
Yeah, just the excess, just the extra. We've got a little sizzle. Where there's sizzle, there's flavor. So we're gonna get started on the sauce up front too. And really, really straightforward. So we're gonna do 1 stick of butter. This is unsalted, you can use salted, it's completely your call. And the pan is not hot. So it's just warm. We wanna let that butter start to melt nice and slow. And after that, it's gonna take, he's always in my way, you notice that? It's gonna take, what's this say, 5-ounce bottle of Red Hot paired up with 1 stick of unsalted butter. Looking good already. Ooh, I wish you could, can you smell that squirrel starting to fry in the skillet and that venison fat? I mean, this is wild flavor. So we're cooking wild game in rendered wild game fat. But again, butter, margarine's terrible for you, but if that's what you got, fine. Seed oils, again, terrible for you, but if that's what you're working with, fine. We're all about getting it done, whether you're at home or at camp. There's just some, I like when, that's like almost an Instagrammable moment right there.
You get a picture on these in.
Yeah. You get them all? Oh, there's a couple in there yet. We're gonna have a full skillet here, folks. Throwing down a wild flavor.
So this is 3 medium-sized squirrels, right?
Let's face it, yours is really small. No, I'm kidding, mine too are small. But average sized gray squirrels, let's put it that way. And so, you know, just kind of a tip, when you're adding, you want to get it on that, in that oil, in that fat, because that's where that browning, that's where that caramelization is going to come from. And that's the whole reason why we use fats and oils to saute or brown, because you need that medium, cooking medium between the dry heat in the pan or the grill and the meat itself. You're gonna have to send me that.
Yeah.
You got all this time on your hands, apparently. Anyhow, Squirrel started to brown, smells pretty good already, right? That butter stick's just about there. Why don't you go ahead and grab that big old HuntChef's cleaver and let's scrape. So we had, how many cloves of garlic, Eric? 5? 5 cloves of garlic. Good. So again, yeah, get it in there. More garlic, less garlic, whatever you like. But 1 stick of butter, 5 nice sized cloves of garlic, and 1 5-ounce Frank's Red Hot is what's gonna go in the sauce. But we're gonna finish that sauce with the HuntChef's straight out of the bay. So you wanna go ahead and start turning some of the small ones. But straight out of the bay is a really interesting seasoning for me, because as a professional chef, I used a ton of Old Bay throughout my career. There were things I loved about it, things I didn't care for. So I kind of took it all apart as I understood it, put it back together, made it better. HuntChef's straight out of the bay. Ooh, we got some nice color going on here. We are caramelizing. We're sizzling. We're building layers of flavor. Oh my. If I didn't know that it wasn't like gonna be real chewy, I'd eat it right now. Right now. It looks so good. I'm just gonna give her garlic a little stir. Get it nice and even throughout that butter. And I'm gonna drop the heat even more. I turned it up to get the butter melted for time's sake. Now I've got it back to a low. So we're almost gonna kind of poach the garlic in the butter. The French term for kind of poaching something in fat is called confit, C-O-N-F-I-T. So we're basically going to kind of quickly confit the butter in that stick of butter while we're working on the brown. I rinsed these good. I'm still finding little bits of squirrel hair. That's what dental floss is for, right? Yeah. Dude, you're natural. This looks so good. It's like you did this less than 12 hours, 15 hours ago. I was paying attention. Yeah. If that doesn't make you want to go to Pyramyd AIR, get yourself, what is that thing called? The Avenger? Here. Look at this right here. That is a fine-tuned killing machine. I mean, tack driving accuracy, power, doesn't get any better. You can customize it with your scope, sling options, bipod, silencer. I mean, you got a lot going on here, right? 10-round clips. Pretty darn sweet. Ooh. So we're gonna basically double cook this squirrel. Right now, we're building 1 layer of flavor, which we're getting all the browning in the pan with that venison fat and the HuntChef's seasonings in the flour. Then we're going to take it out, put it back in the flour, toss it again, and then it's going in the deep fry pot to get really crispy, lock it in. And in the deep fry part versus in the pan, basically the meat is steaming inside of that crust and cooking and getting more tender. And then, well, the fun part, we get to toss it with the hot sauce, right?
Yeah, the hot sauce was the highlight of my night. We're going straight in the flour.
Yeah, just grab a little tongs, shake any extra oil off, right in the flour. All right, they're browned up and ready to go back into flour. We're just going to shake off any of the extra fat. And, ooh, look at that brown. I love it. I love it. Perfect. And that's one thing about natural fats, like lard, like this red or venison fat. It doesn't stick to the meat, in my opinion, or whatever you're frying, whether it's zucchini, eggplant, squirrel, chicken. It doesn't stick and like cling as much as the rendered. Ooh, look at that cut right there. As those seed oils do. So I'm
better for doing this.
I think so, and it's better for you. Look at garlic poaching, patiently waiting for the hot sauce and straight out of the bay. Oh yeah.
It smells already just the seasoning in the flour and the oil. Like this smells really good as I move it in.
Oh, it's so bowl, savory, right?
Yeah. Like it doesn't smell gamey. It doesn't smell. It just smells like a really good cut food right here.
and it's venison fat.
Yeah.
All that white stuff everybody trims off and throws in the garbage.
I can't believe that.
Don't do it. Stop doing it. Save it all when you process this venison. Keep it as you trim every cut, peel it off the back, off the rump, off the ribs, wherever it's coming from. Keep it, and then once you get done grinding all of your meat, then grind all that fat. Then you're going to put it in a heavy bottom pot, low heat, about 18 hours until it's rendered and all that liquid, all the moisture's out of it, and it'll sit on your counter for a year. We'll lose that pan and retoss our squirrel. Garlic's nice and bubbly. Oh, that smells good. All right, so I got some paper towel for our tray whenever the squirrel comes out of the fryer. You're like a natural there. Look at you go. I'm gonna switch your spots and you just knock some extra flour off and then drop them right in the oil. Beautiful. So while he's doing that, that's perfect with a capital P. I'm gonna go ahead in with this whole 5-ounce bottle of Frank's right in that garlic butter. Ooh, look at the bubble. Look at the bubble.
So it's important to get all the excess flour off. So I learned this last night, right? It helps a lot with the second part of the cooking process.
Well, so a couple of things. You only need, the flour that's stuck to whatever it is you're frying to make that crust. And you want that crust to be really well stuck so that it's crisp and doesn't like get brittle and fall off. So to that end, and then any of that excess flour is just going to lay in the bottom of your fryer or your pot and burn while everything else is cooking.
Makes sense.
So we're stirring, working towards getting this sauce emulsified and brought together. But if it's a little bit broken still, the fat not worked into the hot sauce, you say okay. Don't worry about it a bit. That's well on its way. And now we're gonna hit that straight out of the bay, straight into our garlic butter hot sauce. Ooh, look at that.
That just looks pretty too.
It does.
That's amazing.
But don't be shy with it. We're all about the flavor. And that'll give that seasoning time to hydrate into liquid in the pan and bloom that flavor into the sauce. It's gonna be good. Look at that angry little frying pot of squirrel. Oh my goodness. We got a lot of pieces out of 3 squirrels, didn't we?
Pretty good. Be a good meal. Good way to spend the morning in the woods.
You know it. Plus, we got to do a little bit of deer scouting. We saw a couple bucks fighting.
We saw a couple bucks fighting. Saw quite a few doe.
All right, any of those little guys that are floating, let's go ahead, shake the extra oil off, put them right on the paper towel to drain. We're gonna be eating in a minute. Oh yeah.
Smells good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let that leg in there just an extra minute. Those little back strap chunks, they cook really fast. Make sure we're good and tender, all steamed up inside that crust in the fryer. A little pot full of oil does a pretty good job, doesn't it? It's the homemade fry daddy. So Eric, we've got the squirrel all fried up, the Hunt Chef wild flavor and the crust on them, more in the buffalo garlic sauce with the straight out of the bay. They look crispy and delicious. You ready to try one or what?
Yeah, so you can leave it at this step, I would imagine, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm excited for the sauce because it smells amazing. But That's a pretty good wing right there.
Yeah, and I mean, this could be chicken gravy, beef gravy, pork gravy, barbecue sauce,
Right.
really anything that you want to dip your squirrel in, coat it in, toss it in. But this is just a really easy, super flavorful dish that I really like with the squirrel.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Come on, you're the guest. You gotta
We
get the
toss
taste
them?
test.
Or dip
Toss
them?
them, dip them.
Let's dip them.
Ooh, taste test coming. 3, 2, 1. That looks really tender.
Oh, that's perfect.
I'll take perfect. Heck yeah. Look at all steamy.
It's hot.
Yeah, it looks really tender. Is it really
It's
tender?
very tender.
Stick with us, folks.
Oh.
Got all the wild flavor on there. So you go to Pyramyd AIR, get that gun, get the wild flavor, get hunting, get cooking. Stick with us.
You haven't tried these guys. This is the real deal. Best out there.